Midori Draws Wish, a Disney film in celebration of Disney's 100th anniversary. Wish is a 2023 animated Disney film about a place called Rosas. Just a quick comment, as I have no idea why it was called that way and not even related to all the magic and wishes it holds. I was guessing it's a symbolism from Beauty and the Beast. Yes, there are Easter eggs in here, but let's not stray away. And focuses on a teenager named Asha who was supposed to be interviewed to be the king's apprentice. Rosas was established by the rulers, who is King Magnifico. See how the name has meaning? He is magnificent, or at least he thinks he is. So why is the place called Rosas? Is it filled with roses? I don't know. And Queen Amaya, her name means the end, Mother City, which gives it away as the story unfolds, and collects the wish everyone else to be sealed and protected by the king until he can grant them. When someone reaches the age of 18, they will be given a chance to give up their wish for the king to keep and for the owner to forget what they wish for. Weird, right? We'll get to the plot later on, or else I'll keep getting distracted with my side comments. Genre: animation, family, comedy, fantasy. The characters are quite forgettable, I'm afraid. Sure, I can remember Asha as she is the main protagonist of the story, but that's it. And the name of the goat, Valentino. What's with all these names? First Rosas, now Valentino. Why? What's with all this relating to heart when the place shows nothing of it? Anyway, I feel like Asha lacks personality. What I know throughout the film so far is she is a tour guide for guests. She lives with her mom and her grandpa Saba, and she has 7 friends, which seems to be inspired by Snow White's 7 dwarfs. Yes, I'm just realizing this now as I've searched about them. They're actually called 17s. Dahlia represents Doc. Gabo is obviously grumpy. Simon is sleepy. Dario is dopey. Safi, who looks like Bruno, is sneezy. Bazima is bashful, and Hal is happy. Yes, their first initials are similar to if you take the hint. But do you remember any of them? I can only remember the 2 of them. Simon because he did something to the group, and Gabo because he always had to contradict whatever Asha is saying. Probably just a reality check. Early access of Midori Draws is exclusive in My Coffee. Just go to coffee.com/LadyMidori. Link is in the description below. Once you're in My Coffee, go to my tip jar and choose 2 options on how you want to show your support to me. You can send me a one-time payment or choose a monthly subscription for me to continue making contents like this. Full high-resolution image will be available for download to whatever art is shown in the episode. Missed a previous fan art I featured in my YouTube video or in my coffee? No worries. Head over to my coffee shop. Link is in the description below. And purchase any of my previous art mentioned in the video. Simply send me a message with a screenshot of which art you want to purchase so I can upload it and send it over to you. Now let's get back to the video. What I liked about the film: the Easter eggs. It's easy to spot them because they're not being subtle about it. The animation is new and I get that they wanted to make it different because it's their anniversary. And they did an okay job with it. Yes, for me, I think I'll be biased with my review as I would be saying more what I disliked about the film rather than what I liked. King Magnifico doing the magic made me remind of Elsa doing Let It Go. Plus, the seal of the kingdom is somehow similar to the winter sign in Frozen. It's not even pink or red as a rose, but it's blue. And someone saying we love crazy is from Frozen. The castle of roses is also similar to the castle in Tangled. And when I did my research, I'm not surprised that it is. The star's pixie dusts remind me of Peter Pan. Bambi's appearance in the forest when John the bear called out to him. Ash's coat is similar to Cinderella's fairy godmother. If you find more of what I found, list them down in the comments below. I'd like to know what I missed. Among the Disney films I have watched, which has left me empty. As if I'm not feeling empty yet. Puns aside, it didn't make me cry, relate, or made me think. After the film, I thought to myself, that was it? Okay, before you disagree with me, hear me out first. I feel like the writing was rushed or was just written for the sake of the 100th anniversary. Maybe because I was expecting more like Frozen, that the story would be stuck in our heads and we'll all be singing the songs in our playlist for quite some time. But no. The introduction felt like Mirabel's song to the Madrigals, but just not worth singing or remembering. See, this is how I saw the whole film. Just a rip-off of all the films they made and forced them into one. It's like an empty vessel, just like I felt when I finished it. Questions formed inside my head like, the City of Roses wasn't introduced well and why it was even named that way. Is the city filled with roses? Filled with love? Why and how did King Magnifico become the ruler of the kingdom? What happened to his family back then? Where did his magic come from? Is keeping the wishes making him powerful? Where did the cursed book come from? And why does he have it? Why was Asha able to wish upon a star and not everyone else? What was the star's purpose? To be fair, the question about Asha wishing upon a star was answered in the song You're a Star, but probably because she is the protagonist and no one else in her city dared to wish in the sky because they believed in their king. And a star is supposed to take a human form in the original concept, which is why I am inspired to draw this in my style. And the talking animal, Valentino, He didn't seem supportive of Asha in the whole process, but just to be the comical character around the protagonist. Sadly, I don't have a favorite part of the film, and my rating for this film is 1 over 5. Minus 1 point because the songs aren't as catchy. They have good meaning, but that's it. Minus 1 point because the story and characters aren't fully developed. Yes, they are flawed, but they lack depth. Minus 1 point because it didn't feel magical and got me thinking about my own wish. And minus 1 point because everything felt forced. Is Wish worth watching? For me, if you love animation or have a kid with you, perhaps it's a good watch. If you're not looking for much meaning behind the story, it's simply a children's story giving hope for the wishes out there. There's no one to hold your wishes back except for yourself. The magic is within you, or something like that. So, I've seen other artists redraw the original concept of Starboy. Yes, the star. And Asha dancing or being together. I mean, I get that Disney wanted to get out of their stereotype damsel in distress or princess who marries in their teen years. But I think it's magical if Star was really a shapeshifter as their original concept. I made my own version of Starboy, and in my version, he would be full of wonders, but he wouldn't be able to speak as well. He would use the animals to speak or make a sign language to connect with Asha. He would be one of the princes in his kingdom who watches over everyone who makes wishes. I've redrawn the scene from the film where Asha and Star met for the first time. It's been a while since I've drawn Disney style, so it's hard for me not to make this anime-ish. This is exactly why I'd want to keep on challenging myself for trying different styles. I don't want to get the same face syndrome in all my works. I was supposed to just copy the original concept, but I feel like I wanted to change Starboy's look. But decided to make this a draw this in my style if ever I would recreate Star. If Starboy is existing in the Wish universe, maybe King Magnifico would have a reason to capture him. That is, if he isn't keeping the wishes to himself and just had some other magic protecting his kingdom. And it would be a reverse story about an ordinary teenage girl saving a divine being from the hands of a dark magician. Now, wouldn't that be interesting? Then maybe the 17s would probably have more roles, and we could probably take notice of them more. I keep getting ideas in my head for fanfiction or while I'm having trouble getting my main stories have their ending. And speaking of stories, I'm writing the ideas out of my head so I can get back on track with my original goals. I'm sharing this to you, probably I would give an update soon so I could really focus on it. I keep putting it off because I'm tired of trying everything. Heck, even watching this film didn't give me the hope I need for my own wish. How about you? What do you think of Wish? Do you think it's a hit or a miss? Comment your thoughts below. If you had a wish, what would you wish for? For me, I wish for world peace. Well, my own peace as well. A lot of hate in the world nowadays, don't you think? It's getting tiring to see the news all about war in other parts of the world. It's like we're near at the end of the world if ever that would be true. And wherever I go, instead of seeing the good in people, I keep seeing the bad. Makes me wonder if there's still a little piece of humanity left in the world. So, just a thought. Would you give your wish to someone else to be protected so you'd forget it later on, or you just keep it to yourself? For me, I'd rather keep it to myself and do something about it. Unless it's something impossible like flying or having magical capabilities. And here's the final art for Asha and Starboy in his human form and in my version. You can search the original concept of Starboy in the internet. This is just my interpretation and version of him. Do you have a series or a movie you want me to give a review to? Send in your ideas in the comment section below or respond to my poll. See you in my next video.